I used to think I was a good dad just because I showed up, just because I was there, but I wasn't present. I was just occupying space. And my kids, they download all of it every single second. Think about the last time you wanted to make a change. New Year's resolution, a new plan, a new diet, a new coach, new gear. Somewhere along week 3, you quit. Not because you're weak or not because the plan was wrong, because the version of yourself that started the plan didn't actually believe, didn't actually believe that it was going to work, didn't actually believe that you were worthy of it. You were trying to renovate the house before touching the foundation. I know this because I lived it. For years, I made high-stake decisions with real consequences. And I kept on hitting the wall. I kept on hitting the same wall. Different approach, same results. I learned something. It was never the strategy. It was just me. It was my belief system that was running underneath everything. I was trying to win with a mindset that I had already decided that I was going to be a loser. I was at a company where I wanted to be valued more, but I never really loved myself in the first place. I wanted that gratitude and validation, but I never gave myself that grace and love. So here's what I've learned. Beliefs either work for you or they don't. There is no neutral, no in between. The man who can't lose weight and make that transformation physically doesn't have a calorie problem, doesn't have a physical problem. They have an identity problem. His file says, I'm not someone who does this. The lifter who refuses to run, the runner who refuses to lift, both of them leaving about 40% of their potential on the table just because they have a fence around it. And that fence isn't a fact. It's a file. That file can be rewritten. Take a few examples. I have a family member. He's close to 40, carrying a lot of health risks, midlife crisis, so to speak. They're in a dark place. Their doctors prescribed them a GLP-1. And guess what? They won't take it. And do you know why? Because somewhere along the way, they downloaded the belief that taking something like a GLP-1 is cheating, because suffering through it is more honorable than using the tools available to fix things. So they spin the same wheels year in and year out like a hamster running on that same cycle, same year, same frustration, seeping into the other parts of their life, like relationships with their wives and potential to build a family, or in some other cases, the potential to even have intimacy, partnership, love. So they're stuck in this vicious loop, vicious cycle, and they call it discipline. My brother in Christ, that is not discipline. It is identity protection dressed up as a virtue. But this is where it gets more serious. And if you're a father, I need you to listen to me, because everything I just described happens every single day, at every single moment. Your kids are watching you live right now, whether with their own set of eyeballs or just being in your presence. Before they have the language to question it, before they have reason and the analytical skills to push back, their nervous system is calibrating into your frequency, your state of mind, your inner state, your patterns. Your unresolved traumas and loops are all playing out over and over, and they're filing it under one category. This is what life is like. We throw around the term daddy issues like it's a punchline, a quick tag, a quick stereotype. It's not. It's an inherited operating system. It's installed long before she even had a language to question it, the mind and the brain to understand it, by the man that she loved most and trusted most in the world. The critical dad, never satisfied, always correcting, doesn't raise a daughter with high standards. He raises a woman that believes that she must be fixed to be loved. She's in the mirror every single morning, looking at herself, destroying herself. She picked a partner who pushes her to be better. You never laid a hand on her. You just said you could do better one too many times. And now she's her own abuser. Likewise, the rage dad, the one that's always yelling, angry, emotional, responsive, and reactive. The rage dad calibrated her nervous system to chaos, and we call it discipline. So when a genuinely good man shows up and is calm, consistent, safe, she calls him boring. That order is such a departure from the chaos that she's been ingrained in her subconscious. She doesn't have bad taste. She has your taste. Provider only dad that taught her that value is transactional. Everything has a cost, and nothing was ever given. She'll spend her whole life trying to earn what she should have received for free. She overworks and underprices herself, struggles to receive love that isn't earned, because with you, everything had a price tag, and nothing was ever given. The passive dad, the dad that was there but not present, emotionally a ghost. She became the emotional engine in every relationship. She carried everything, the grieving, the joy, the happiness. His feelings, her feelings, she carries it all. She's exhausted, and she doesn't know why. You are the first proof of concept of a man in a relationship. And what she learned is that she does the work, and he just exists nearby. Proximity without presence. The unavailable dad, the one that chose the game, always on his cell phone. And she learned. She's 28 now, and she's dating a guy that only texts back 3 days later. And he calls it, I've been busy, grinding. She's not tolerating neglect. It's not game. She's comfortable in it. It's her order. It's her familiar environment. The man she loved the most did the same to her because you taught her this is what love feels like. None of these daughters chose it. They didn't wake up and decide one day, hey, let's be broken. They inherited it. And before anyone gets too defensive, I'm in this too. Every single day I'm broadcasting a frequency and my kids are receiving it, whether I'm intentional about it or not. So I started asking myself the harder questions. Am I broadcasting the frequencies of a man who believes that his body is capable, or a man that quits every January? Am I broadcasting the frequency of a man that's willing to take risks, that's willing to be disciplined and consistent? That a man that is willing to face his darkness, does the hard work, reads the word, sits in discomfort, or a man who numbs out with football and basketball, beers and bars, and calls it rest, calls it a life, calls it hobbies? Am I transmitting a man fully showing up, or a man who just occupies space? So what do you do with all of this? You start with the belief, the foundation, not the plan, not the program, not the workout, not the diet. The belief, your own belief system. Audit every single one of them. Are they beneficial? Where did you get them? That's it. You rewrite them. You find the ones that are holding you back and you rewrite them. You say, I am the man who does this. Before you even feel like it, before you show up and lace your shoes on, before you get out the door and do your first mile, you say, I am the man who runs. And I am the man who completes the marathon. And I am the dad that shows up every single day with presence, faith, and love. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm building towards. In real time, imperfectly and out loud. I'm reading the word for the first time. I'm training for my first marathon this year. I'm building something that doesn't have a salary yet. And I've never been more aligned. I've never been more inspired and motivated. She didn't choose her patterns. She inherited them. And right now, when you're watching this, your kids are downloading yours, not the one that is performing on good days, the real one, the one running underneath everything. So here's the real question. When your daughter is finally old enough to clearly see the real you, will she find a man who faced his own operating system and rewrote it? Or a man who never looked? Total alignment. The work starts now.